Hi everyone, it's Evie Angeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at the Hollywood Rack's Destination 2 bike rack right here on our 2020 Lincoln Corsair. This is a super lightweight as well as compact platform rack designed for if you just want something quick and easy to use and throw on your vehicle when you want to take your bikes out for a ride. Now, you don't have as much weight capacity as, let's say, your sturdier or heftier bike racks, but then that's what you get for having something so light and easy to store. You can even store this inside your trunk when you're not using it. So we'll take a look at this bike rack just to kind of see how it works with our Lincoln Corsair and see if it's the right fit for you and your bikes. Other bike racks can tilt away if you want to access your hatch. In the case of our Hollywood Rack's Destination though, it does not tilt away. So if you want to access your hatch, you will have to take both of your bikes off. That is something worth considering. This does have a weight capacity of 35 pounds per bike, which is pretty much your traditional weight capacity. Most bike racks have that weight capacity. Whether you have your, let's say, your step-through frames though, your women's frames, or your children's bikes, since it does have this 360-degree frame mount, you don't have to get a frame adapter bar to carry them. So that's something extra special about the Hollywood Rack's Destination. The way it's holding down our bike is we have 1 and 2 wheel straps as well as that frame mount we just talked about. So when we want to take the bike off, we start at the wheel straps by pressing this lever and just lifting that up and trying to leave it as far to the side of your bike as you can get so that your straps don't get caught up in your spokes. To take your bike off, I do recommend kind of supporting it with one hand as you use your other to release that frame mount. So you just press that lever in and pull that strap out of that frame mount, and then some people, they like to push this mast down to get a little bit more clearance, but since it's so short, all I'm going to do is kind of tilt this away and then lift it up and over that short mast, and then we're ready to go on a bike ride. Here we have our front and our rear cradle. So notice how they're shaped downwards. We've started calling them kind of like the wings on this bike rack because of the way they're shaped. They also have this strap that goes around your wheel, and this strap has this nice rubber cushion which you can adjust so it sits on top of your wheel and helps prevent scuffs and scratches. One thing about this is that this does have a maximum tire width of 3 inches wide. So if you have extra fat tire bikes, this probably won't be the best fit for you, but usually 3 inches is enough for your normal bikes. Now, for any hitch accessory, they're usually going to add some length to the back of your vehicle, so we'll take some measurements to see exactly how much with our bike rack here. So measuring from our bumper to the furthest point of our bike rack, which is going to be these nice plastic white reflectors, it sits at only 23 inches away from your car. So that's pretty impressive. It's super compact for a platform style bike rack on your vehicle. If you do want to maintain the compact crossover SUV style that you have right here, whenever you're backing into your garage or parking into a tight spot, this is going to be helpful because then you get more space. Now let's talk about ground clearance. So ground clearance is going to be measured first at the center and furthest point of the bike rack to the ground, and it sits at 20.5 inches. Now at the end of our wings, it sits at about 15.75 inches. So whenever you go up steep inclines like your driveways or hills, as your front goes up, your back goes down, and you'll want as much ground clearance as you can get, especially since measuring right over here at the shank, you only have about 12 inches of ground clearance. So this is very helpful since you get that shank rise and your bike sit a little bit further up off the ground. And with our bikes off, can we now access our hatch? The answer is yes. We have plenty of clearance between our door and our mast, allowing us to get into our trunk and grab whatever we need. So whether it's our helmets, our bags, our waters, we can do so with the bike off and without having to lower this mast. So I guess you do have to take your bikes off since you can't tilt away, but it's nice to have that opportunity or option. Now, to put it into the compact position, you first need to lower the mast. To do so, you have this knob over here. Just slightly loosen that knob just enough so that you can lift this anchor out of position, fold that anchor away, and then tighten this back down. So once that's slightly tightened down, you can then bring this mast down. There we go. That's out of the way. And then you can also use the straps for the wheels as a strap for the frame mount. You can also use a frame mount if you want to. It's really whatever's easier for you. That secures it. And now we will fold this bike rack up. So we have a clip here. So remove that clip, and that will allow you to remove this bolt. Once that's fully loosened, you can just let that hang. Don't drop the clip though. And then fold this up into a compact position against your vehicle right there. Now line that up with the hole and tighten that bolt back down. Once that bolt is fully tightened down, don't forget to secure it with the clip. And now let's take some measurements of our bike rack. Closest point is going to be actually this frame mount, unless we have it over to the side. That's going to be a clearance of about 2 inches from our bumper to that frame mount. The length added to the back of our vehicle is now going to be from that same bumper to the end of this shank. It's about 9.5 inches. So big difference compared to when this was folded down. You'll definitely want it in this position when you're not planning on taking your bikes out, but you also don't want to take your bike rack completely off either. Another thing we can look at is note how much clearance we have behind our vehicle. Our rear window is completely visible. Our taillights are completely visible. Our backup camera has plenty of space for your view behind you. And especially our license plate. Our license plate is completely visible. Of all the different bike racks we have, hanging racks kind of cover the license plate. Most platform racks kind of cover the license plate. It's nice to see that everything is visible so that you are legal on the road. Now this has an 1.25 inch shank with a 2-inch hitch adapter. Since we have a 2-inch hitch on our Corsair, we have that adapter on. We also have an anti-rattle bolt as well as a lock. So that lock goes over that hitch lock. I definitely recommend using it with the Hollywood Rack's cable lock, which is secured right there as well. That way you can secure both your bikes and your bike rack with just one set of keys. Now let's take a look, let's do a shake test even with the adapter attached, as long as we have an anti-rattle bolt in. So as we shake our bike rack, notice how I'm really just moving the vehicle at this point, and there's not really extra shake from an improper fit between our bike rack and our vehicle. I know some people are concerned whenever there is an adapter on an 1.25 inch shank, but you can see here that that fit is secure and you still have a really good anti-rattle effect. So my final thoughts about this bike rack on our vehicle is this is definitely a nice and compact bike rack. I can even carry this bike rack with one hand, which is very impressive. Now you don't get the extra premium features you would get with more pricier bike racks. Those features would be tilting away with the bike rack on, as well as, let's say, a front wheel clamp for if you have carbon fiber frame bikes. But if you just have normal bikes and you don't need anything extra special, you just need something light and easy to use to carry them, this could be a great option for you. I especially like how you can store them in your vehicle when you're not using them, as well as how even if you have those different frame sizes, your women's bikes or your children's bikes, with that cool 360 frame mount, you can carry them without needing a frame adapter bar. If you need to carry more bikes though, you may want to consider, let's say, the Quad Transfer 4 bike rack, which still gives you a good clearance within your vehicle, but the ability to carry multiple bikes. But all in all, this was a really quick look here at our Hollywood Racks Destination 2-bike platform rack on our 2020 Lincoln Corsair.